Now I am going to demonstrate the proper setup of your game cameras. First thing we're going to do is open them up. We'll pull this latch on the side here. Open the game camera. First thing to pay attention to, I've already got the batteries in, but you guys will be responsible for putting your own batteries in. Okay, it's important to make sure that they go in the right direction. Every year I have a student group or two that put their batteries in wrong and then say that the camera doesn't work. Okay, so make sure the plus goes towards the plus, the minus goes towards the minus. Your SD card will go in the bottom here. You can eject it just by pushing slightly with your thumb. It'll pop out. Pull it out. Push it back in. There's a little hole where it goes. Push it back in till it clicks, and your SD card is in. Right now your camera is in the off position. We just want to go up one click here to the setup position. And you got to give it a second. But then when this information comes up, that means your camera is on. You'll want to make sure that you've got at least 2/3 battery life. So you want 2 dashes here. 3 dashes is also good, but you don't want 1 dash. It's best to check that before you go out into the field to make sure that you have enough batteries. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work through the menu and make sure that everything is properly set up. Okay, so we're now going to go through and make sure everything is set up properly. We do that by first pressing the menu key here, and it brings us to our menu. We're going to set the image size at 4K. This is kind of the medium-sized images. It's a compromise between low-quality images where it might be hard to distinguish some of the smaller critters and really large images that would be prohibitive to store on the eMaml data set. We're going to scroll through, so we're good with 4K, we're going to press OK. We're going to scroll through our menu here. Next is image format. We want full screen. We're going to do bursts of 3 photos, but you can push the up and down button here and see what your options are. 2 photos, 1 photo, or 3 photos. OK, and we set that. LED control high, we'll keep that. Camera name, don't worry about inputting a camera name. Video size, don't worry about that because we're just doing photographs. Video length, don't worry about that because we're just doing photographs. Interval, you can see here that there is a decimal point in front of this 6, so that means 0.6 seconds. That's the smallest interval that we have. We're going to go with that. But make sure that this is 0.6 seconds and not 6 seconds. It's a big difference. We want a high sensor level. We're going to keep this NV shutter in the default mode of auto. We're going to keep the camera mode in 24 hours. This is in case you want to format your SD card. Any SD card I give you will be erasable, so you can do this if you want to, especially if you haven't already done it on the computer. You do this by pressing OK for execute. It wants to make sure that you're really good at doing that. Are you really ready to do that? We'll select yes. It's going to take a second, and you're good to go. Timestamp on. We do want to know when we photographed animals. Field scan off. Coordinate input off. No need to enter the coordinates if you don't want to. Video sound on. We don't need to worry about that because we're not doing videos. Don't have to worry about this. This is just the version number of the camera. Set mode, we're going to set the clock. Okay, this is very important to have the clock set at the correct time. Okay. So according to my watch, it's 4:54 p.m. So you'll notice that we're doing military time, very important so we don't get AM and PM screwed up. So 4:54 translates to 16:54. And by now it's 16:55. We're going to change the year. It is not 2017 anymore. Maybe unfortunately. It's 2020. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, August. And on my watch, it's August the 27th. We're going to press OK. If you don't press OK, this hard work will be erased when you press the next button. We're going to go with the default for our presets. We're going to make sure the mode is in camera. Be very careful here. Students always manage to put it in video mode. If we do video mode, we cannot share the data with eMaml. Keep this in camera mode. If it's in video mode, change it to camera mode. And back to the beginning with image size 4K. Please note that I've now gone through this entire cycle, but the menu doesn't always start with image size, okay? You might start off with something else, but as you cycle through, when it gets to the end, it'll just automatically loop back to the beginning. We're done with this, so we can simply press off. Or menu to go back to the main menu. Here we see the time, 16:56, 16:56. We're off on seconds, but that's okay. This number next to my thumb here, 3209, says that for the given SD card and size that we're saving the photos, we can have 3,209 images taken. This here tells us that we are in 4K mode. We can turn it off for now.